Video is made possible by the EA Creator Network. Yes, as you can tell on screen, that's insane. You can do dashes just like Titanfall. Her passive is gone, but has been added is a sick dash. Now, it's a little finicky when you do a wall bounce. It kind of treat it like a Valkyrie, you know, just make sure your jetpack is, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Look at that. It's insane, but it's a little finicky. So if you're trying to use your mouse, your scroll wheel, and then when you time it well, I mean, you go really far. And here's another example: super zipline jump, insane. What's even crazier, and this is another change that's being added. So the max level, I don't want to skip around a little bit, but the max level is purple armor. Okay, that is your max level. I know you're seeing red here, but red is only applicable to helmets. Okay, another big change: where are the helmets? They're gone. There is no helmet reduction anymore in Apex Legends. As you heard that right, I'm gonna repeat it again. There's no reduction with helmets at all. Even these, look what it says. Look what it says. It says provides no reduction to headshot damage, but it does get you to red. It does get you to red. Now the reason I level this up because I wanted to showcase the fact that you can get 2 dash charges, which is insane. You can have your arc snare duration and world is tripled and can catch multiple enemies. Or you can gain a phase breach charge. The phase breach has been increased. You can see that distance a little further. So if we go ahead and ping, it's about 104, but it's still a little further than that though. I almost want to say it's like 110 based on what I'm seeing. And it snags a little better so than where you're seeing it goes. So I know a lot of the complaints was that it was a little finicky and where it hit, but it sticks a little better now than it did before. So it's better. Would I say it's perfect? I would say it's just improved. And it's faster whenever you go through it. Just a little bit. I would say it looks like, you know how they have 600, 650? I would say the meter is probably like an increase by 500. That's what my assumption is. Now, the crazy part is that, yes, you actually get 2 dashes. So if you go yoink. Now, the downside is you can't do it midair. But once you hit the ground, you can use it again. So kind of be smart about that. And then if you go into another wall bound, bunny hop, you can do it afterwards. So there is some movement tech. It does work with a super glide. Now in this build, I did notice that the lurching mechanic was still in this version. And I'm hitting a note here is that I'm hoping that doesn't go into the live environment. So that's just the hope. So if you miss your super glide and you hit it, there it goes. Yeah, it's super nice. So whether you hit it or not, at least you get that extra dash. And if you bunny hop, you could, in theory, there's a lot of movement tech here, and then go and then move it's across the other direction. It's a little weird because if you use your scroll wheel for jump, just like I do, right? If you're using that, once you're going in direction, it can feel a little strange. So it's really strong. But again, just a reminder, her passive is gone. Her tactical is a little more consistent in terms of hitting. They had mentioned that you would notice that it's going to be a lot more consistent overall. So there is that benefit as well. This is the season when it comes to assault. So everything that you're frustrated with support has been pretty much nerfed, and now everything for assault is going to be buffed. So let's talk about some of the assault changes. So right off the rip, you'll notice that we have a section for grenades, and also what you'll notice is that it seems like there's skins for them. You see that? That's interesting. You got skins, but they also occupy this spot over here, which is interesting. So there is that, which is helpful just so you always have at least 2 grenades at your disposal. But the other massive perk when it comes to running an assault class is the fact that you have a faster reload when you crack an armor and increase movement speed. Yes, you heard that right. Only on crack though. You'll notice there, it does nothing unless you crack their armor. So if you're reloading, and of course the gold mag, you're probably asking the question, what does that do to that? Well, it only automatically reloads whenever your weapon is stowed. So it has to be put away. And you'll already notice that there is increase to damage across the board for every single gun. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to talk about all that. There is a lot to break down, ladies and gentlemen. We are only 4 minutes into the video and we have just started. So it's pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. It has been a long day, so if I sound like I'm a little worn out, it's because it has been a very long day. So again, crack, you move forward, slide, jump, you reload quick, you use your dash, you want to move forward, you use another dash, yes. Assault class has a lot of mobility, and you can add a lot of movement tech into that. So that's the beauty. You can hit the supply bin still, so there is that nice little perk. When you look at the classes, just to kind of reiterate here, you'll notice that the support class is missing the fast heals and then also the double heal, and that's because of the helmet, which we'll discuss here in a minute. Now, breaking enemy shields increases movement speed, reload speed, and highlights victims. That's something I didn't even mention. This highlights the victims of who you've cracked for everybody on this team. You carry extra ammo still, the grenades, access to high loot bins, automatic reloads, stowed weapons after short delay. Now, that's the weird part, because that happens no matter what. So let me go and show that. Ready? So if I were to shoot a little bit with this and swap, it actually would still do that. The gold mag just increases that time. I know they took a mental note of it. At least I did when they had mentioned it. I assume that this is supposed to be a little bit faster when I switch it. We'll see how that feels. It feels like it's probably around the same, but it's like everyone has a gold mag. That's kind of busted, to be honest, for everyone in the assault class. Like, that's insane. And we're not even done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have to get into the ballistic changes. So the sling has already been integrated, is no longer a perk. So the sling weapon, if you put anything there, you'll notice I didn't select a perk. If I throw something there, it automatically turns into a purple weapon, right? It's all integrated as you level up, which is bonkers. So you don't need to worry about perks and your armor or anything like that. The biggest thing here, I would probably go for the perks, increased killing time here. You can do the duration of the world is triple. This one's insane. Double the number of whistler charges. Yes. You start off with 2. You can get 4. So essentially you hit somebody for 20, and you hit them for 20 again, then you hit them for 20 again. But also whenever they're shooting, I mean, you have also the added benefit there moving forward, and then you have your ultimate as well. There's a lot here, especially with ballistic. Like, this is just insane. I mean, you're running around reloading quick. You already have all of this power, and then you have a sling weapon. You'll notice that the TTK is also just absolutely bonkers now. With that. So let's talk about the helmets removed as we're getting the whistle charges. So helmets are gone. So remember, the Mythic one can be found in care packages. This one grants you immediate 125 armor. This one gives you, it's essentially like having gold armor. So if you want this one, it pretty much heals up like you were the old support legend. So let's go ahead and throw a grenade at ourselves, and then we're going to pop a cell. And you'll notice here as well is that every character has fast healing. Everyone has fast healing. Everybody. Everyone has fast healing. Now, let's talk about the Whistler here. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. That's a joke, by the way. I actually am Mexican, so yeah. So that is a major change that they made. That's a lot of damage, and having that early on with 2 whistle charges is, man, that's crazy, dude. That's insane. That's literally crazy. They had mentioned that the anti-cheat measures are going to be better, that they're continuing to work on that, so they did mention that. The care package weapons, let's talk about those next. The Peacekeeper, yes, outside of the care package, insane. And as well as looks, everything else is pretty much the same. And then we're going to talk about weapon changes, and you'll probably notice these little care package little things in the corner, which we'll get into. Let's go and run over to this. Let's go and grab ourselves an energy weapon. These spawn everywhere in the map, and you can watch my gameplay video as well for the other one to see them. And they have specific loadouts. So let's go and say, for example, I had purple. Let's just grab this, and let's put it in there and test it and see if it gives up a gold mag. It's supposed to upgrade you to the next one. No more volt until reset? Huh. What does that even mean? Is it because I have this? Let's see. Ready? Oh. I can't get gold. Well, that is very good to know. So if I'm on blue, hold on. Let's take a look at this. See, we're learning together. It won't push you to gold. That's kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna learn something new. Unless it's just because of the test range. Somebody will find that out. Boom. Purple. So you can find these around if you're looking for attachments. I mean, now that there's no helmets on the ground, I guess there's technically more in terms of the loot pool density should be a little better in terms of fighting loadouts. And you have these everywhere. That's pretty crazy to kind of add in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about every gun change. And this is going to be a lot of overwhelming changes. So now that you've realized that, okay, before we do that, let's actually talk about support. So support class, you notice that the fast heals aren't there. Ready? Well, double heals, ready? So you'll notice that, oh, well, hold on. I'm just going to drop the helmet. Because the helmet gives you double heals, but look, it only heals for 1. But everyone, so the shield heal is 2.5, the syringe is 4, the battery's unchanged 5, and the med kit is unchanged at 8. So small meds. Now, what's interesting about the small meds, real quick, is that you can hold 6, and you can hold 6 syringes as well. So that means, I guess, playing outside a zone isn't going to be as powerful for support. You're going to have that downside. Everyone heals faster, but you're not healing for double heals. So it's like having gold armor back in the game. I don't really know how I feel about that with these two. So there is that, something to consider. What do you guys think so far? This has been a lot, and we're not even done yet. We have to go through. So whenever I say in the next section, I'm making sure I got everything done before we got into this next section, because I wrote down notes. Now keep in mind, there's disclaimer. I'm going to put a text warning. Disclaimer here. There are so many weapon changes, and I had to spend hours in this test range looking at everything. So these are, one, an earlier build, so these are subject to change. And two, if I make a mistake, please don't yell at me. You don't understand how many different changes there have been. It's actually insane. So let's take a look. So the care package one is the one we're going to start with first, because that one is pretty easy. The damage was increased to 21. This was 18. So 21 damage. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. The headshot damage, everything essentially is 1.3. There are ones that are snipers that the headshot multiplier is 1.8, but they did change the headshot multiplier. Now the beam shot was increased as well to 70. This was 53. And also the beam headshot damage is 105. All right. Now what we're going to look at is, I'm going to put these in categories. So essentially what I'm going to do ARs, then we're going to do LMGs, then we're going to do SMGs, okay? If I sit here and timestamp every single gun, we're all going to go crazy, okay? So now the Hemlock was increased to 20. This was 19, yes. The headshot is now 26. You see, you'll notice that the trend here is every gun has essentially gone up from either 1 point of damage to up to 4, and in some cases, like 10 or 20. This is mostly for like the snipers and Wingmans and stuff like that, so I don't want to be too dramatic about it. Let's pull this right out. Nemesis got buffed too. Nothing got nerfed. When I tell you nothing got nerfed pretty much. I would even say later there's a slight nerf to the G7, and it doesn't even feel like a nerf. So this is now 17. I know it's kind of hard to see the quick damage, but it's 17 damage. Was 16. The headshot damage is now 22. So if you're thinking, how fast is this new TTK? So this gun is charged up. Let's just charge it all the way. We're going to give 2 examples, okay? So fully charged to 3 bursts. Done. They're dead. 3 bursts. Yeah, that's right. All the pros watching this video and screaming, concerned about the time to eliminate. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so let's go back. Again, uncharged up. Still 3 bursts. That's crazy. That's insane. All right, R301 was buffed and now does 14 damage. It was 13. The headshot damage is 18. 18. And the body, it does 14. Just double checking. Flatline is next up. It's another AR. Now this is now 19 damage to the body, and headshot is 25. So this was 18. And next, for the category, we're going to go into LMGs. Oh my gosh, these guns, these are all crazy, bro. I don't even know what to think. All right, 16 damage. That's right. And then we're going to go up to 20 damage for the headshot. This was 15. The L-Star is going up 2 points of damage. This is now going to be 20. It was 18. There you go. And then the headshot is 25. Now, the elimination is just, it's so crazy. Now, the Spitfire is now going to 21, and this was 19, 21, 26. That's insane. Dude, that's just, let me grab a mag. Let's just talk this, like, look how much damage this thing does. You wait till you see the Rampage. Let's just say some of them are headshots, some of them are not. Let me shoot away. Yeah. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say anything else? All right. Next, the Rampage. This is now 30. It was 26 damage. 30 damage to the head, 38. And you're probably thinking, yeah, you know what I'm about to do. You know what I'm about to do. Okay. This is a sleeper. This gun right here. This is crazy. Okay, ready? We're going to charge it. I'm just going to do all headshots. I'm going to do all body shots. You ready? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Still going. Yep. And guess what? You see, remember how they changed the thermite? Yep. Crazy. That's insane. Absolutely busted. Next up, 30-30 repeater. The no charge damage is now 43. It was 39, so we got a pretty massive difference there. No charge headshot is now 58, from the looks of it. Let's look at that again. 58, yeah. And then the full charge is now 93? Hold on, is that right? Oh my god, I was writing notes, and I thought I was wrong when I wrote this. Are you serious? Wow, okay. All right, they slightly increased projectile size at long range, so let's take a look at that. Okay, all right. That's crazy. And they increased the Bocek as well. Let's take a look at that. I'm trying to put all of them into like categories here for you guys. So 120 to the head, 75. This was at, I believe, 70. The rate of fire is slightly reduced because they don't have the Deadeye's tempo anymore. You'll notice that. So I dare say this is a nerf, kind of. And then also shatter caps was only supposed to be 13 per damage. So we can get one shatter cap in there. Yeah, there you go. 100. That's wow. That's pretty crazy. Wow. All right, let's try the G7 Scout now. Let's take a look at this. Yeah. I told you guys you were in for it. This is crazy across the board. 35 damage. What was this? 33 before. They said that they lowered the rate of fire. I mean, with how fast it kills, I mean, it almost feels fine. Jesus. I'm taking that over the 30-30 still. Triple take, also buffed. It increased to 22. This was 21. Headshot damage 105. Oh, God. Wow. It's even more of a shotgun than it was before. That's insane. So that is all of the marksmen. We'll get to the snipers and stuff like that. Next up, the pistols. So let's take a look at the P2020. This is increased to 24. This was 21. Let's get rid of that there. There you go. That's insane. P2020 finally you're gonna have a you can still akimbo these. So let's take a look. Ready? Because I assume that it goes to akimbo. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's busted. All right. RE45. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized for the P2020, I didn't even do a headshot for you. 30. There you go, just so you know. RE45 is going to be 14. This was 13. And, of course, the headshot is 18. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Wingman. Because this is a pistol. This is... And I played with this some more in game. This one was 45? No, okay. 45 is what it was before. And then 72 to the head. This one I had a little more time with. That one's pretty interesting. Next up, let's go through the SMGs that are all busted now. Okay, SMGs. Let's start with the Alternator, since it's just right here. All right, so this has been buffed by 2 points of damage. It's now 18. It was 16. And the headshot is 22. Yep, that's... when you think about how fast these are... That's crazy, man. All right, Car SMG is up next. Car SMG does 14. This was 13. Now, as the headshot is 17. But also, one thing you'll notice, these are back on the ground. Laser sights. It kind of gives that a bit of a buff there. Car SMG might be a little more viable, especially with the accelerator, because it is still in the game. It's still there. But I didn't see that was removed, so that's good to know. The Prowler, also... This is where, the Prowler, especially when we talk about how fast this is. Prowler is doing 16 damage, and the headshot does 19. So if you look, in 3 bursts, you could eliminate somebody. It's pretty close before, but, that extra damage that's spicy. That's pretty crazy. Same for the R99. It has had some adjustments. Technically, it was nerfed because it was in the care pack. You don't have the movement speed moving around. You don't have that anymore. Now, also, the no longer has damage fall off. No longer eliminates movement penalty when equipped. And then, of course, the recoil is increased just because it balanced it. But it's still, it only decreased to 13. I think it's great to have the R90 back on the floor. I always enjoy this gun. I think it's great. Now, the Volt was increased to 16. This was, I believe it was 15. And the headshot is 19. Let's just find out. There we go. 16, 19. I did my best to try to memorize these, believe it or not. I try to memorize the values. It's almost borderline impossible. But here we go. I did the best I can. You know what's crazy? We haven't even gotten to the shotguns. Okay, let's go through them. All right, shotguns. Let's take a look at the Eva first. And then I'm going to go ahead and equip the Mastiff. So the Eva has had its shotgun pellet increased to 8. It was 7. And no longer deals increased headshot damage. Huh. I guess that's a balancing act. I'll take it. But still. Oof. That's some consistent damage. You can't get headshots anymore. Interesting. Yeah, when you're hitting that, that's crazy. You can't get headshots. So that's a buff and a nerf, I guess? I mean, I guess it's better and more consistent damage. No longer deals increased headshot damage also for the shotgun. The damage per pellet is increased to 16. So it's 14. Oh my god, look at that. Ready? Let's grab a Mozambique. Let's see what they did to this thing. All right, because they also, from my understanding, most of them, I had to double check from the notes. Okay, so you got headshot damage on Mozambique, and then we shot the Peacekeeper, which we're still going to circle back to. What is the damage on this? This is 16, I think, per pellet. Yep. I think that was 15 before. And yeah, 60 damage for headshots. Interesting. Okay. That's pretty interesting. And then the Peacekeeper has headshot multiplier. But also, it looks like the pellets increased to 12. This was 9. I mean, it's a care package up. Oh my god. So let's see how much. Imagine somebody just runs up to you with wide armor. You can almost one-hit somebody if they're wide armor, dude. You literally could just walk up, say hello, and then punch them and they die. That's crazy. And it seems like the choke is a little faster. I don't remember it being that fast. And the pellets, I don't know. It seems pretty busted. I see the range on this. Let's kind of mess around with it real quick. Has it always had bleed through damage? Is that always a thing? Let's test that again. Is that a bug? Come on, I need a person over here. Hold on, let's just test this. Sorry to go off script. There's still time to testing. Yeah, I don't think maybe it was just a bug. At least I think it was. Let's test it again. Let's just shoot. Okay, so I think there's bleed through on this now. If you got people lined up, but like the distance doesn't seem like it's very far. I don't know. I guess I got to do more testing. It seems a little strange. It seems like there's bleed through, but it doesn't seem consistent. So I don't really understand. So if I'm standing right here, 6, I guess there's a drop off. There's got to be a drop off with that. So there is that. There's also that. So now let's cover the snipers. Thank you for hanging in there with me. There's so many changes. There's been so much here. So the base damage has been unchanged, and this has mostly to do with the min-max damage, really, and what it does in terms of headshots. It's mostly the multiplier, I think, was touched. I don't really know what else was changed with this, to be honest, because the base damage isn't changed. It's like 135, and then I saw 190 something. 198? I don't know if that was always the case, I'm gonna be honest. If that's changed, comment down below. I don't really know about the charge rifle per se, so I'm sorry about that. This one, it's just maybe because it was already touched already and adjusted, so I'm not really quite sure. And I assume the auto select fire is pretty much remaining the same. I assume. Let's try it real quick. Yeah, it looks the same. I thought I remember it being 6. I think it's just mostly the headshots they changed because they had to, because there's no helmets. I didn't really pick up the charge rifle a whole lot. But I thought I saw Moonstone's clip anyways from ALGS, and I thought I saw 192. All right, next up is the Kraber. Everyone knows that this does 140 damage. Now, here's something interesting to think about, especially with the reloads when you crack armors, especially when you're using a Kraber. So essentially, if I crack an armor and I reload, I could reload the gun for a fast reload with the Kraber, and it hits for 210 for a headshot. Yeah, you saw that. And it hits for 150 for the body. Yeah, that's crazy. We actually got a Kraber buff. I think the gun that most pros get most frustrated with actually got buffed instead, which is crazy. This is still doing a base of 60, and then it's 108 to the head. So you still have that. That's something to be mindful of. And then the Sentinel doesn't have the tempo anymore. They removed it. This should still do a base of 70. Yep. And then the headshot, I think, is 126. Yep. And we're good there. But they removed the Deadeye's tempo. Deadeye's tempo is gone. Now, I'll overlay some of the gameplay. Whenever you're dropping in, the POIs have been added as well with their names, quality of life changes. If you are new to ranked, you'll have to go through a set tutorial on how ranked works. This can help slow down players that are cheating, but also make sure people are acquainted with the game. They also mentioned they're putting the matchmaking list. So the thing you see in ranked, you'll see a skill distribution for pubs coming soon. LTM's new ones also pull information from unranked. So I guess it's a positive if you are a new player, I guess, because then you're not going to run into other sweats. But if you're sweaty at this game, sucks for us, I guess. End of match summary, they're adding the ability to track the battle pass, challenges, and weapon mastery. So if you finish up the round, you'll be able to see that there. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, listen, this is still a long video with a lot. I made sure to try to cover as much as possible and also showcase it to you guys. Now, here's my consensus of what I'm gathering from this, especially when we talk about the support class. I'm going to add my final thoughts here. And I guess the biggest thing is that resetting is going to be a lot harder to do. You'll still have the fast revives from the class, right? When you look at this, you'll still have fast revives, but the downside is everyone can push you faster because anytime anybody gets a crack, they're going to shove you. They're going to have more grenades. They're going to have faster reloads. And so there is more of a reason to run Controller Legends. There is a heightened reason to run Skirmisher. Skirmisher really needs a rework. At this point, like, it feels like everything is working better, except for Skirmisher kind of feels like left out to dry. Now, the other change I will mention is Loba ult. Whenever you go off drop, I didn't realize this, is now 50%. So when I was in game, I did play a game with her. And everything else seems like it remains untouched for the most part, except for the support thing that I had realized. The skins, just kind of recapping what I think I am aware of that I caught. If there's something that I missed, I apologize. As you can tell from all the numbers, this was a lot. It could be subject to change. And if I made a mistake, I apologize. It's just every single gun has changed. So I already sucked at doing this before. So having to go through this, you know, afterwards, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, so now, yeah, hopefully you enjoy the new season. My theory still is that they want people to play aggressively. They don't want people to go for fast resets. They want to value positioning more than anything. I mean, this is a faster time to eliminate across the board. It's almost like, remember the old TTK changes they tried to make? I mean, it kind of feels like we're in that change. We'll see how bad it is, but if you're caught at a position, you're pretty much dead. And if you have momentum, you just can't win through having Mythic and red armors. It doesn't work like that. You can't heal outside of zone. You won't be able to shield as fast. Everyone now can heal just as fast, so they changed the timing with the small heals, so that feels better for every class, but support not necessarily the strongest in this current season and current meta. It's going to hopefully lead to a little bit more dynamic changes of maybe playing Ashe, because she's got a ton of mobility, or God forbid saying a Ballistic every once in a while. I don't think that he's going to be meta. I think Ashe will 100% be meta. I have no doubts about that. Like, she's going to be extremely strong. But other than that, it's pretty much everything I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Ashe's season. This should be called Ashe Reborn. If you enjoyed, I'll see you guys this coming Tuesday when I return back, and we'll do a live stream of all this. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys all real soon. Bye, everybody.